shame on you!
UK government, shame on you!
Free, free!
Palestine!
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 Guys, come. Come all around, people! Come all around, please, so we can get space for all the people here. Just come all around. Come all around. So I want to see some people here, please. Come on. Some people this side. Come on now. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Occupation no more!
5, 6, 7, 8.
Israel is a terrorist state!
1, 2, 3, 4.
Occupation no more!
5, 6, 7, 8.
Israel is a terrorist state!
1, 2, 3, 4.
Occupation no more!
5, 6, 7, 8.
Israel is a terrorist state!
BBC is scared. Free,
Palestine!
free.
Palestine!
Free.
Palestine!
Well done, Cardiff! Some people here, they tell us, why do you come in the street and beg these politicians to call for a ceasefire? They think we beg them. They think we're asking them. No, we're forcing it. We're demanding it. You know why? Because our land is our land. Our dignity is our dignity. Our determination is our determination. Our boycott is our boycott. Our Palestine is our Palestine. We never have or had any expectations from tyrants, dictators, or cruel people, basically. We demand a ceasefire. We call it now. We come in here in the street to call for the justice for the Palestinians. The Palestinian people that have been suffering for over 7 decades. The people who's been murdered, killed by Israeli illegal occupation for excuses and justifications that are just cruel. Kids are being killed. Women are being killed. Men are being killed. Hospitals are being bombed. Churches, mosques, and we cannot let this happen. We cannot let this happen. It has to stop. We will continue to insist on our freedom, even if the world has ceased to acknowledge it. We shout loud and clear, protesting and limitless. This message is a clear message to the UK government and to all people around the world. Protesting is not only our solution. We escalate, we boycott, we do a lot of other things. If this is inconvenience to you, well, killing women, kids, babies in Gaza and Palestine is inconvenience to all of us here.
For those of you that have joined us for 7 weeks, this is starting to take its toll on us, from our voices to our health. Imagine, this is our complaint, the privilege. I can go and get some strepsils. Think of the children in Gaza, think of the civilians. They got told, go from the north, move to the south. They get to the south. Now they're told to get out, go to the deserts, go to the seas. Is this seriously what a war looks like? No food, no water, the death children? Exactly. I just led the Climate Justice March, which the people are still with us. Today, climate justice marries up with the March for Palestine, because there is no justice until everybody gets justice, till the planet sees justice. The people suffering across the world has gone beyond that which we have ever seen in our existence. We are currently being desensitized by the imagery that we're seeing. Is it normal to go to sleep seeing children's limbs blown off? Is it normal watching a parent pull the face of a child back onto its remains? Is it normal to write your names across all your limbs so they can piece you back together? And is it normal that we have to witness it? And the governments think they will say in our name, not in our name. We stand with Palestine! I performed a piece of poetry by the other side. With whatever voice I may have left, I'm going to give it a go for you guys. Call it freezing. Make some noise, guys! Let me have a breather! Hold it. Hold the microphone. Okay. Are you ready? Okay. Do you condemn Hamas is what they ask, while IDF mobilizes their tasks. Every day the BBC is showing propaganda while Israelis killing kids. This is slander. All the murder that's unfolding, it's a tragedy. It's a really dark side to humanity. Israel declared this is another Nakba. Palestinians dying. Allahu Akbar. I'm traumatized watching all the deaths in Gaza. This entire situation's a palaver. This goes back in time. It's British history. This is playing out like a Nazi victory. In 1948, a Zionist state was formed, occupied by Jews that didn't have no place to go. But as time went by and greed took over, Gaza was pushed out to the border, living under occupation. It's not a prison, it's a concentration genocide upon civilians, claiming all the children are the terrorists, so they'll kill you all and use them as human shields. Resilience like we have never seen. What we're deafened by, the children screams instead of children playing on their motherland. You steal their bikes, they're wounded in their father's hands. Israelis out here bombing hospitals and schools, treating all of us watching like we're fools, raining white phosphorus upon the people. It's a war crime, it's illegal. The West is funding Netanyahu's ugly killing spree, comes at the cost of our humanity, while our taxes pay for the tragedy, while civilians run from the savagery. This is not just a fight, this is not a war. Palestinian bodies laying dead all on the floor. This is a genocide upon a dying population. This is a massacre, not retaliation. Killing all the journalists, Al Jazeera, as if we can't read an encyclopedia which tells us that in history there's Palestine, but Israel remains a mystery, it's all a lie. Starting out from the Balfour Declaration, the start of Israeli occupation. This is now a violent situation. No innocents safe from invasion. No liquor any laws causing devastation. This is now a violent concentration. It's up to us to offer our humanity. It's up to Israel, judging for the genocide. Over 20,000 Palestinians died. 8,000 children left with their creator. The Zionists are nothing but haters. It's apartheid, ethnic cleansing. It's never ending. It's apartheid, ethnic cleansing. For Palestine, we will rise to defend it.
Well done, Nelly.
Thanks, bro.
If you Nelly, she said something about Zionism, right? In the US, they said Zionism equal to Judaism, which is obviously not, because we see a lot of Jews that are supporting Palestine. We see a lot of Jews living in Palestine, in the city of Nablus, if anyone heard of this city. There are a lot of Jews there who support Palestine. There are a lot of Jews in Jerusalem against an illegal state of Israel. But the media don't cover it. The media is biased. The media is always want to show you this is a conflict of religions, but trust me, it's not, because who's behind it, they don't even believe. They don't believe even in the whole Torah. They say that God promised them a land in Palestine. So we tell them, Zionism no, Judaism yes.
Zionism no! Judaism yes!
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 I know I sound like a broken record. I repeat a lot of what I say.
Israel's broken, not you.
Nice one. But unfortunately, we have to keep repeating the suffering the Palestinian keeps going. Sometimes we have to repeat a lot of our suffering so people can hear us. I know you are all here because you know what the Palestinians are going through, or you know enough to stand up and come in here to stand for the Palestinians. Unfortunately and sadly, there are still a lot of people who's not only standing like alone by themselves, they are standing with Israel and against the Palestinians. And I was thinking, honestly, I'm a thinker, I'm an overthinker actually, and I keep thinking, like even if I was so stupid, if I just watched the news for a couple of minutes, I mean, if I just watched the numbers, I mean, since only 7th of October, there are like over 25,000 people are being killed in Gaza, and only 1,000 people in illegal Israel are dead. The numbers themselves tells you who's the oppressor and who's the oppressed. The numbers themselves tells you who's right and who's wrong. The numbers themselves tells you who's on the right side of the history and who is not. They keep lying to us. They keep telling us Hamas and Hamas and Hamas and the Palestinians and they are terrorists. To Israel, if you are Palestinian, you are a terrorist. If you, a Jew who supports Palestine, you're a self-hating Jew. They have a name for everything. They have an excuse and a justification for everything. The West is standing with them. The UK government, the US government, every government in the world, most of them are standing with this illegal state. And we keep thinking, why? If the people here are standing with Palestine, why the governments are standing with Israel? And we know why. We know why. Because history repeats itself. They keep lying the same lie. And some people, they keep believing the same lie. So again, yes, history repeats itself, but stupidity repeats itself as well. They keep killing kids around the world. Over 1 million people they killed in Iraq, and they call it, and they said they condemn the weapons of mass destruction. There was no weapons, and they killed people in Afghanistan. They killed people over 20 years in Afghanistan, killing people just. We are freeing the people, and after 20 years, the same government, the Taliban, is still there, and they took their military out. After billions of the people who pay tax, after billions and billions of the middle class people's money and taxes, after the people who's been in the military and died for their country, for the lie they tell them, for the brainwashing they keep telling them. They keep telling us, do you condemn? They keep asking us to defend ourselves, but they never answer our questions. They never actually answer our questions. They keep just telling us, do you condemn and do you condemn? So we keep telling them, we are here, we know what's right, we know what's wrong. We know what's right, we know what's wrong. We are on the right side of the history, and we will stay on it until our demands achieved. And please now, Charlie Jesh, give her applause now, please.
Yeah, okay. Hi, it's wonderful to be here with you all this week. I mean, it's not wonderful, obviously, for obvious reasons, but it's wonderful to see so many of you, so many more than last week, so many more than the week before. With drums, we made more noise, we've got more chants. And this is the way we do it, guys. This is the way we do it. They try and tell us the protest doesn't work. This is the only thing that's ever worked. We've got a whole toolbox of resistance which will keep growing. We will get more creative. We will become more resilient. We will come out to the streets more. We will boycott more. We will stop spending. We will make your companies fail until you listen to us. Because clearly, that's the only language you understand is money. So let's show them with our money. If that's the only language they speak. To those who are feeling hopeless, to those who are feeling in total despair, imagine what our brothers and sisters and siblings in Palestine and in other genocides throughout the world, and slavery throughout the world, which is ongoing. Imagine what they suffer every day. I look at the Palestinian people, I look at these videos that are coming out, and I see unbelievable resilience. I see unbelievable endurance. Most of all, the thing that breaks my heart most of all, that breaks my heart as open as the sky, that makes me want to come out here time after time, is the love. Is the love that I see on show, is the faith. And so we can do this. We are not fragile. We are resilient. We have hope, we have heart, we have love, and we have faith. They have had to have it for decades. Decades and decades they have had to keep the faith and the love in their hearts. It's the least that we can do to carry that flame forward. Free Palestine. Free, free, free! Free, free! Free, free! Free, free! Free, free! Free, free! From the river to the sea! 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 Thank you. See you next week.
Okay, I'm terrified, but I'm going to read you a poem because I can't not. Sure, thanks. I know why Great Britain gets jumpy when we say genocide. You crooked bastard, you've had your fingers in so many countries. Thought you'd lick the cream from the top of every GDP. Arrive and cause division, start another civil war, then divide and keep dividing like a cancerous cell, rubbing your hands together because it's going as well as you hoped it would. You know it does from all so many years of rocking the right boat, choosing which side to call the barbarians. On wrecks that hardly float, let them drown. We won't let them in, you say. Those ones we pushed back, and these welcomed with open... Did someone say arms? We know nothing about that. We had no idea they'd be used to maim and kill when we sold to a regime that we armed and built for the very purpose of squeezing the last drop of blood from the last stop olive stone, forcing the last Kenyan, Indian, Irish, Jamaican to starve, to watch their children die. Stop! Screams Great Britain. That's history. It's over. Why bring up the past? Because you haven't changed. Take your fingers out your ears. Hear this, you colossus. Save your fake little tears. If suddenly overnight you've changed your ways, then prove it, you fuck. Oh wait, you can't. You're arming Mordor as psychopaths march, slaughtering with impunity as you sit on your arse, saying, oh, very sad, perhaps a humanitarian pause, so they can smell their dead rot as you run out of food, and you side with apartheid like you always have. And most of your subjects, even if they weep at the news, won't stop this, because they've got too much to lose. Sitting pretty in towns and cities built with wealth, the empire raped, murdered and lied for, thinking it will never be me though. It will never turn on me. As we wait 8 hours for an ambulance and die before we get a mental health appointment. As our right to protest is stripped, food costs doubled, anti-genocide labelled hate speech. They will never turn on me. Your bills a struggle, your pension shrunk and shriveled. I have every freedom, thinks the citizen. This could never happen here. A stupid ant collecting crumbs to feed the bloated billionaires. So don't you dare say, genocide, Britain barks, it isn't true. Just post thoughts and prayers, we don't care where, and be glad it isn't you.
The next speaker is David, and he was part and is a big part of the Climate Coalition and the environmental movement here in Cardiff. There's always stood side by side with the anti-racist and anti-imperialist struggles, and David is a big part of that, and that's why the climate movement came here today to march with us and to struggle with us for a free Palestine. Yo. It's beautiful to see you all here. I want you to all, when we leave here today, leave feeling powerful, because you are powerful. Every time we come together, you are powerful. Say it. I am powerful. Every time we come together, every time we are powerful. Say it again. I am powerful. On Thursday, we went and shut down the weapons factories. 4 places across the UK. Can you be there next time? Can you be there next time? Say, I will be there next time. I will shut down the factories. It's a powerful thing to do. It starts when you march, it starts when you talk, and then you can take action. All we did was stand in front of a gate. Can you stand in front of a gate with me? Yeah! These factories are in Wales. These factories are in Britain. They are funded by the banks on our high streets. 6 months ago, we shut those banks down. We need to be radical for liberation. Our own liberation and yours, the people of Palestine and globally across the world. Do you stand with them? It's fucking right we do. The last thing. Times feel hard here in Britain. We're struggling to eat and heat our homes. It's the same cycle of violence impacting people across the world is enacted from the buildings in this city and in the city of London. Last Friday, we went to British Gas and we shut that down. I'm going to say some words and you're going to say, shut it down.
Shut it down!
Energy companies.
Shut it down!
Apartheid banks.
Shut it down!
Merchants factories.
Shut it down!
Shut it down.
Shut it down!
There's more to come. Keep your ears peeled. Take the day off and come and join me. What are we going to do? Thank you very much.
And now we have our speaker, Sundus, who's Palestinian. It's good to see you all here from different backgrounds, different religions, ethnicities. The only thing, at least, that we share in common here is that we are all humans and we stand for what's right.
Hi guys! Thanks guys. Imagine the only thing being left of your family member is a limb, a foot, an arm. We don't even have the luxury of seeing our family's dead bodies whole. That is a luxury. How dystopian is it that we live in a world where seeing our family's dead bodies whole is a luxury? That is the reality for Palestinians right now. Our people, they're not living, they're merely surviving, living in fear, malnutrition and starvation, not having access to basic human rights. Human rights are available to pedophiles and rapists. Pedophiles and rapists have these rights and our people don't. And we're here, we don't just stand for Palestine, we stand against injustice. We stand for Congo, we stand for Sudan, we stand for Tigray, we stand for Somalia. This is against all injustice. Because nobody is free, there is no justice till we are all free. And I'd just like to write you guys a poem I wrote about humanity. What more must I do? Must I rip out my eyeballs and attach them to your eye sockets for you to see what's right in front of you? Must I shred my heart into tiny little pieces and distribute it to the world? In the hopes that they will finally feel something? Maybe if I snap off my hand and attach it to their arm, the weight of wiping away so many tears might strike up a crumb of emotion. Maybe if I cut up little heart shapes out of my soul, bag it up and give it out like candy on Halloween, maybe then they'd feel something, right? Or maybe not. Maybe they've gone past the point of return. Must I destroy myself to make them feel something? Is the destruction of my people not enough? Now I must further destroy my pride and sanity in the hopes that one day a crumb of compassion within them may be found. Don't worry, humanity, I haven't forgotten about you. I will keep making missing posters for you till your return. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you, Sundus. That was actually emotional. And hearing the Palestinian voice matters as well. Hearing the other's voice as well matters to us as well. Because we all stand in solidarity for one cause, which is the liberation of Palestine. And now we have Arafa, who's gonna give us a speech about Palestine. Please give her a vote.
63 days too many. We have seen international law disrespected. 63 days too many. We have seen men, women and children tortured in military detention. 63 days too many. We have seen a civilization sent on a death march from the north to the south of Gaza to flee the bombing, only to get bombed at the place they were told to flee to. do not divide each other, your politics do. And we stand together united on that. Our government needs to uphold a foreign policy that recognizes and respects Palestinians as they do Israelis, and petition for the end to an apartheid regime and military occupation that terrorizes that every day. That starts with the Palestinian people staying alive. We demand a ceasefire, not tomorrow, not next week, not next month. Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Palestine open free! From the river to the sea! Palestine open free! From the river to the sea! Palestine open free! From the river to the sea! Palestine open free! From the river to the sea! Palestine open free! From the river to the sea! Palestine open free! From the river to the sea! Palestine open free! Free, free! Palestine! 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 From the river to the sea! Palestine open free! From the rivers to the sea! Palestine open free!
From the rivers to the sea!
Palestine open free!
From the rivers to the sea!
Palestine open free!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
1, 2, 3, 4!
Occupation no more!
5, 6, 7, 8!
Israel is a terrorist state!
1, 2, 3, 4!
Occupation no more!
5, 6, 7, 8!
Israel is a terrorist state!
What do we want?
Ceasefire!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Ceasefire!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Ceasefire!
When do we want it?
Now!
Save Gaza!
Save Gaza! Save Gaza! Save Gaza! Save Gaza! Save Gaza!
Save Gaza! Save Gaza! Save Gaza!
Save Gaza! Save Gaza! Save Gaza!
Stop killing kids! Stop killing kids!
From Cardiff Communist here, who's gonna give a speech now.
Israel is a manifestation of the imperialism, the end stage of capitalism. This war did not start on the 7th of October. It followed during the creation of the State of Israel on May the 14th, 1948. Israel was created to provide a friend in the Middle East for the capitalists in the West. MPs either too cowardly to vote or voting against the ceasefire. Universities condemning students who stand up for Palestine, and even the UN and international courts appear to do nothing. We must ask ourselves, why is this the case? Wealth. Money wipes the blood away from the capitalist mind. This is funded by the world leaders that stand idly by with blood on their hands, or at worst, arm and support the oppressors.
our own ruling class are only looking out for themselves, standing with Israel despite its atrocities. What they stand to gain from this strong imperialist ally in the region is wealth, comrades. Sir Keir Starmer, the opposition leader, apparently the labouring man's voice, stands with Israel and her right to defend herself. This was a quote straight from him. Meanwhile, the actual working classes continue to gather in the streets, at rallies, at protests in our hundreds of thousands, emphasising with and understanding the oppressed. The struggle of the people to save their lives, work, study, raise families while being massacres. What does this show? We cannot rely on a capitalist government for a capitalist solution. We must work without the system for any change to happen. We've seen this throughout history. Only the working classes can bring forth any meaningful change. This war is in the direct result of imperialism. Freeing Palestine frees the oppressed people around the world. To quote Marx, workers around the world unite. You have nothing to lose but your chains. Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
There is only one solution!
Intifada revolution!
There is only one solution!
Intifada revolution!
Shame! BBC, shame on you!
BBC, shame on you!
BBC, shame on you!
BBC, shame on you!
Keir Starmer, shame on you!
Keir Starmer, shame on you!
Rishi Sunak, shame on you!
Rishi Sunak, shame on you!
Thank you! We started this demonstration giving our respects to Dr. Rafat and the poem he wrote after being assassinated by the Israeli terrorists. And I want to read, before this march ends, I want to read his last poem before the Israeli murdered him. The Israeli government bombed his house where he stayed with his sister and her family. They did that in cold blood, and this was his last poem. We remember him, we honour him. I will continue to fight for his legacy and every single Palestinian's legacy that have been murdered by the terrorist Israeli state. The poem is called Drenched. On the shores of the Mediterranean, I saw humanity drenched in salt, face down, dead, eyes gouged, hands up to the sky praying, or trembling in fear. I could not tell. The sea, harsher than the heart of an Arab, dances, soaked with blood. Only the pebbles wept, only the pebbles. All the perfumes of Arabia will not grace the rot. Israel bleeds. And Israel will continue to have to deal with an international movement that calls for Palestinian liberation. And as we've said at every moment, Israel exists, as Haaretz, the liberal newspaper themselves said in 1952, only exists because the West wants to have a client state in the Middle East, but when they want to close their eyes, Israel can do their dirty work. That is their voice. They have said that themselves. They know where their existence comes from, and that's why they rely on US and UK funding to survive. That's why they rely on their funding to create genocide, and that's why we have to stand up. We are in the belly of the beast. We have to stand up against our own government. We have to stand up against this state because they fund genocide. They support genocide. Look what they did to Iraq. Look what they're doing right now to Palestine. Look at the bombs they send to Saudi Arabia to land on Yemen. Look at what they do. That's what this country was born from. But that's what this country will die from too. When we rise and we end it and we rise together for a free Palestine, a government that does not support genocide but supports the people. And that government does not exist without us creating that. And that power comes from us. No history has been made by a government doing things or by the people doing things that are in power out of the goodness of their heart, because guess what? They don't have hearts. But what happens is we demand and demand and demand and demand, and if they don't listen, then they have to go. And that's how the slave trade ended. That's how country after country gained independence from this empire. And that's how we and the Palestinians will liberate ourselves from this disgusting regime, and how the Palestinians will continue to fight, and we support their resistance. Never let them make you say you do not, because as we have to condemn Palestinian resistance, this government does not have to condemn the weapons they send to Israel. They don't have to condemn the bombs they land on the Middle East. They don't have to condemn the murders that the police bring upon black and brown communities in the UK. They don't have to condemn any of that, but they tell us we have to condemn. I'm done with condemning. I didn't even start condemning. Miss me with your condemnation, because we will only condemn the ruling class and the state above us that creates the murder, and we will stand in solidarity with those fighting it across the globe, and they are the Palestinians, and we should watch them, we should support them, and we should learn from their fight. We should learn from them, just as we fought against the Vietnamese invasion by the US, just as the Algerians fought against the French colonialists. We will fight here to try and liberate Palestine, and we will give all the support they need, because Palestinians will be those are the people that will liberate themselves from Israeli genocide or brutality, the Zionist regime that was brought to this world by this very country, and it will end when the Palestinians get to live in their own country. The indigenous people of that land will get to stand on their own lands without being bombed, without being caged, without being oppressed. That is when Palestine is free, not when a ceasefire happens. We argue for a ceasefire, do not get me wrong, but that is not where this ends. That is not where this ends. We don't want to return to October 6th, because what was happening then? Apartheid. What was happening then? 90% of the water in Gaza is not drinkable. What was happening then? 50% of the children in Gaza want to end their lives. Statistically, 50%. We want to return to that. No. We want to bring about a new world. And that world will be brought to us alongside the Palestinians as they take their country, their land. And so Muslims, Jews, Christians, any person can live in peace, just as they did before 1948 and before the interference of Western imperialism. Thank you.
20,000 people are dead, are killed. Sorry. Including over 10,000 children. Yet, they keep chanting, we are a democratic country. We preach democracy. Where is it? People are being killed in Palestine and Gaza. Babies, children, women and men are being murdered, are being slaughtered by Israeli terrorists. Where is your democracy? I don't see it. I don't see it. Stop preaching it. Or is it just a tick box? Or is it just when it's convenient for you? This message is to the UK government and all the Western governments here. Stop preaching about your democracy if you are not gonna do anything about Palestine and the people of Gaza. Stop your lies. Stop asking us to condemn this and that. The only thing we condemn is your silence. The silence that hurts our hearts. The silence that threatens our democracy. The silence that kills children, men and women. The silence that is shut up on the genocide and the ethnic cleansing the Palestinians have been suffering for over 7 The Palestinians didn't create any war. In fact, the UK and the US who created World War I and II and other wars. And so, when you define terrorism, make sure that you put your name at the top of the list. From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
Free, free.
Palestine.
Free, free.
Palestine.
Free, free.
Palestine.
Free, free. Palestine. Free, free. Free, free.
Palestine.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Occupation no more.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Israel is a terrorist state.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Friends, I think the problem of the world today is there's too much poverty and too much war. What we need is a war on poverty, not a war on the poor. Now I've come here today for the same reason as you. Because from the river to the sea, Palestinians have no justice. From the river to the sea, Palestinians have no equality. From the river to the sea, Palestinians have no freedom. That's why we say, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Friends, humanity is on trial in our time. Humanity is on trial over what's happening in Gaza. In every generation, in every age, I think there rise issues so basic, so fundamental, that they are decisive in whether humanity moves forwards or backwards. Abolition of slavery was such an issue. Black civil rights in the United States was such an issue. Apartheid in South Africa was such an issue. Well, Palestine is the civil rights movement of our generation. Palestine is the anti-apartheid movement of the 21st century. Now today, the climate justice, the environmental, the ecological, the green movement march with us. And I think that's very important because peace and climate justice are inseparable sins. The American war machine emits more climate emissions than over 100 countries. And in fact, the genocide in Gaza and climate breakdown might seem very separate issues, but if we think about it, one of the roots of the conflicts in the Middle East? It's oil. It's the addiction of our ruling class to oil and fossil fuels. Oil is the most important commodity on the planet. It makes planes, trains, and automobiles run. You use it to make plastics. And because the Middle East oil to dominate the global economy, the West has sought to dominate the Middle East. And it's done this through three ways. First, backing the Arab dictators, the puppet presidents and corrupt kings who, from the Atlantic coast of North Africa to the banks of the Euphrates, hold the Arab peoples in chains. Secondly, it's dropped bombs on Middle Eastern countries, Western governments, or supported other governments who drop bombs. But thirdly, I think it's backed Israel to the hilt as the attack dog and watchdog, the aircraft carrier of Western foreign policy in the region. If this was just a conflict between Israel and Palestinians, there could be a solution. But is Israel backed by the United States? Israel backed by Britain? Israel backed by the most powerful states on the earth? That's why we have to take action here. Now, I just want to say one last thing. The name of my organization is Cardiff Stop the War. We were founded 22 years ago. I think we're one of the oldest, still active peace groups in the city. I'm now entering my 4th decade of life, the autumn of my life. And all I've seen since I'd attained the age of reason, I just see these images on TV screens of bombs and missiles raining down on Grozny, on Kandahar, Kabul, Baghdad, Fallujah, Mariupol, Kiev, and Gaza again and again on Gaza and in so many places in the world. The bombs are falling down. And I have to say, is this to be the fate of human beings in our time? Cowering in basements while powerful militaries
rain down death and destruction. This cannot be the fate of human beings. In the name of humanity, we must raise the slogan, stop the war. You know, we know that capitalism and war fit together like the hand fits the glove, that when the rich wage war, the poor die, that we have wars because our rulers are relentless and ruthless in their pursuit of power and profit. But I think we still have to be idealists and raise in the 21st century the slogan, war never again war. Because when I think about war, I think about not only the children who've been exterminated, but I think about the children who survived, the children who've forgotten how to smile, the children whose souls have been battered, who are in deep trauma, the children who grew up with the debris and rubble of war as their toys. So let's raise again the slogan, war never again war. Thank you on behalf of my organization, Cardiff Stop the War, and see you on the streets.
Cardiff, we showed them that the numbers are increasing in thousands, and next time more and more people, until our demands, until a ceasefire, and we're back again in the incubation. Well done, Cardiff. See you next week. Thank you.